All right, so I'm gonna look at these reviews, and for the most part, you may notice like a particular trend on these like reviews, like apparent reviews. And from the most part, what you're noticing is that everyone knows, like it's a well-known secret. Or it's not really a secret, but the DCU is dead. This is the last film for the DCU. Now, is that the most important thing to this film? No. The DCU has never been important to Aquaman. Like what Aquaman went into production, it was never important because at that time, Zack was no longer involved with Warner Brothers and DCU because they decided to go with Joss Whedon. Um, and as for Aquaman 2, the only thing that Aquaman 2 needs to do is connect from Aquaman 2 to Aquaman 1. So if you are a viewer of Aquaman 1 and you're like, boy, I like that movie. I can't wait for them to make a sequel. I can't wait for them to put Jason Momoa into more films. Well, you got your film, and now the reviewers reviewed it and making it like, well, this is not worth your time. If you like the first film, you'll probably will like the second film. So if you if you're making a review, why don't you make it in the aspect like, comparing it from the first film to the second film, not the entire universe. This is so ridiculous. Now, I kind of blame Warner Brothers at the same time because they decided to release this in a weird order. The Flash should have been the third movie to release. The second movie to release could have been either Shazam or Aquaman. I would have put Aquaman at second where Flash released because this film to me is a blockbuster. This, if it was released before the Flash, and definitely way before Barbie and Barbenheimer's situation, it probably could have made $1 billion. It could have maybe come close to $1 billion. But right now, it may make maybe $500 million. I don't know. It may come close. It's so unlikely because everyone is so tired of superhero films at this point. Because a lot of them have been reverted back to like the pre Iron Man days where they're just like not worth the watch. Ant-Man and the Wasp, The Flash, Shazam, The Marvels, like all these films are just too long. They're boring. The CGI is either trash or not needed in most situations. Like, I swear, if I see another CGI helmet when you could have just made a regular helmet, not gonna say any violent things. Let's move on. But that's the big issue. Like, people are so sick and tired of these things. And this film, if it had released in what, May? I think that's when The Flash came out. May or June, whichever one. It would have came out with, I think, a pretty decent success. And then when it leads into The Flash, we can all be disappointed because we thought that was going to be a good film. And then finish it off with Blue Beetle, which would probably still make the same amount of money. It made it theirs because that movie was, again, not interested. Very mediocre. Mediocre. I said it like a New Yorker. But yeah, again, back to these films. They're not connected to the Aquaman at all. Like, I don't think he's brought up Batman like, oh, let me hit up Bruce. Let me hit up Diana. Is Barry good? What's Alfred up to? Like, when they were bringing up the UN and talking about how they need to save the planet, like, they could have brought in Bruce, which he may have been originally a part of that film for that reason. They could have brought up Bruce and he could have came in to help with the the negotiation talk. That could have been something that was seen instead of being told, right? And that did not happen. We were literally just passed along, and then after that, Jason Momoa did his thing and said goodbye. But back to these ridiculous reviews. There is this one that I highlighted, self-serious log. I don't understand. Like, this is where I get confused if people are watching the same movie I'm watching. This movie was not serious for the most part. For the most part, it was very chill. Jason Momoa was having fun. He was laughing up a storm. He was, I don't know, just punching things and just yelling like a Looney Tune character. Dude was having his best time. And when it got serious, it was warranted. Like, oh no, my kid is about to be murdered by this crazy maniac. Let me be a dad and fight this dude. I don't know, like something like that. It was serious when it needed to be serious. What are you talking about? About self-serious log. The little intro, bro. When we start this movie, they're about to show Aquaman face off against these, I guess they're pirates, and he's monologuing, and as soon as he's about to throw his first punch, it switches to an action figure of him and some random like action figure that he's gonna face off. And how again is this serious? Like, it was meant to be fun. All right, next date. Let me see. What was the other thing? I think that's pretty much it. I don't know, man. Like, people just don't make any sense to me. Why are you making a review like this? Actually, there is one more that I was thinking about. I just can't remember where it was, but dude was upset that, oh, I think it was this one. Overused CGI would put a charging rhino to sleep. Okay, so the main thing I want to just bring up for this guy, if he's not aware, majority of this film takes place under the sea by G. Like, what you want them to do? Get in a submarine, throw their actors into the ocean, and record them, and maybe find Atlantis? Can you make this make sense? How are they going to do that? They had sets when they needed to have sets, like the lighthouse. When they were moving from Atlantis and to the lighthouse, sets. When they were moving from Atlantis to wherever Manta was hiding out at, they had actual sets, actual physical things that you can touch and throw. Like, what's the problem here? The CGI was not overused. When compared to Thor, where Thor actually was overusing CGI to the point where it just was so ridiculous, you had to laugh. Like, why is he wearing a CGI helmet when he could just wear a regular helmet? Why is it magically disappearing? Like if they had nanotechnology, why are we doing that? Why are we also making like a see-through CGI kid communicate to Thor in the most goofiest way possible? You could have just had a voice, a disembodied voice, calling out to Thor. That would have been suffice. You could have just cut that whole thing out, just leave the voice in, but you had to show the kid for some reason. I don't know. This film had the proper amount of CGI, and the CGI actually looked good. I believe this guy, when he reviewed this, did not watch the first film, and he was pleasantly surprised about why there's so much CGI here. What's going on, bro? I would agree with this person. This person seems to have watched the movie. The script is very choppy. I am not gonna lie about that. This film is fun, but the parts that were just really weird were technically involved in the script where I don't understand why we open to an open monologue about like catching up with Aquaman, and then we still have these weird sections where he's doing that, and then we have an Ocean 11 type theme where he's like talking to like about what they're talking about what he's gonna need to do to break out his brother. Just a lot of weird moments with the scripts, and I think this is actually a fair review, very fair review right here. Let this guy have more opportunities to review. Give him all the money, bro, because he actually knows what he's talking about. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Aquaman 2, decent film. You should watch it. I personally think it's far better than most of the films that we gotten, or most of the superheroes films that we gotten out of this year. It doesn't top Spider-Verse. It doesn't top Guardians of the Galaxy because those were far more serious and they had a better tone to it. But when it comes to like a popcorn film or something that is, I don't know, just comedic and fun, this is a better film compared to, we'll say, Shazam was meant to be more comedic than serious because he probably thought he was going to be going into the next universe. But no, this film is better. This film is better than that. This film is better than Blue Beetle. This film is way better, way better than The Flash. I wish we did not have The Flash. Like, we could have just not had The Flash. I didn't see the Marvels. I'm too lazy to watch the Marvels. I do like Kamala Khan's character or actress, so I might give it a shot, but I highly doubt that's going to be any better than this.